Every year, millions of people visit the stunning national parks across the United States, lured by the promise of fresh air, breathtaking landscapes, and wholesome outdoor activities like hiking, fishing, and camping. These parks are known for their tranquility and beauty, making them a top destination for families and adventurers alike. However, beneath this serene facade lies a darker, rarely discussed aspect: the alarming number of strange disappearances that occur in these supposedly safe havens. A hidden epidemic of missing persons. It's a disturbing reality that hundreds of people vanish from national parks each year under circumstances that range from baffling to downright eerie. Many of these disappearances, though rigorously investigated, remain unsolved. Some cases are so bizarre that they challenge even the most experienced detectives, search and rescue teams, and forensic experts. While some may be explained by natural dangers like rough terrain, others defy all logic. This unsettling phenomenon was first brought to the public's attention by David Paulides in his Missing 411 series, which documented hundreds of cases of inexplicable disappearances in national parks. His research uncovered patterns of mystery and intrigue that suggest these are not just ordinary missing person cases. Here, we explore some of the most chilling and perplexing disappearances reported in national parks across the country. The John Doe case, a child's tale of the unexplained. One of the most bizarre stories involves a 3-year-old boy, referred to only as John Doe, who disappeared while on a family trip near a fly fishing river. For 5 hours, John Doe was missing, only to be found dazed but unharmed in a grove of trees. However, the tale the boy told upon his return is what sets his case apart. According to the young boy, he followed a woman who looked like his grandmother into the mountains. He found himself in a room filled with lifeless robots and strange weapons scattered across a dusty floor. The most unsettling part: the woman, who he believed to be his grandmother, had a glowing light emanating from her head. She then asked him to perform strange tasks, including defecating on a piece of paper, and became agitated when he refused. Finally, she told him he was from outer space and planted in his mother's womb, before instructing him to wait in the trees until he was found. As strange as this story sounds, it gains more weight when considering that John Doe's grandmother later reported a mysterious incident of her own. She claimed to have been dragged from her tent one night and woke up with 2 small puncture wounds at the base of her neck. Was this an alien abduction or the product of a child's overactive imagination? We may never know. Alfred Beilhartz, a child lost to the wilderness. In 1938, 4-year-old Alfred Beilhartz disappeared while vacationing with his family in Rocky Mountain National Park, Colorado. The family was hiking near a river when Alfred vanished without a trace. Despite an extensive search, no sign of him was found. The only clue was the scent that bloodhounds picked up, 500 feet uphill from where Alfred had last been seen. Oddly, the dogs became confused and refused to continue tracking the scent, eventually lying down as if disturbed by something. To make matters even stranger, 2 hikers reported seeing a young boy in a precarious rock outcropping called the Devil's Nest, 6 miles away from where Alfred disappeared. The hikers claimed the boy appeared dazed and was suddenly pulled backward by an unseen force. Alfred was never found, and his case remains one of the most perplexing disappearances in national park history. Kenny Miller, a climb beyond his capabilities. In 1992, 12-year-old Kenny Miller disappeared in Yosemite National Park while on a family trip. Despite being 12, Kenny had the mental capacity of a 4-year-old, which made his disappearance all the more troubling for his parents. They had been keeping a close eye on him, allowing him to play by a pond while they prepared dinner nearby. In a moment of distraction, Kenny wandered off. When his parents noticed he was gone, they immediately began searching for him, but he was nowhere to be found. A month later, a group of hikers found Kenny's body 1,500 feet above the area where he was last seen, in an extremely remote and rugged part of the park. The location where Kenny's body was discovered was so inaccessible that even experienced hikers found it challenging to reach. The steep terrain was filled with jagged rocks and dense bushes, making it difficult to navigate. The question remains, how could a boy with the mental capacity of a toddler have climbed to such a height without assistance or specialized equipment? Even more puzzling, Kenny's body showed no signs of trauma or foul play. He had simply ended up in a place that was far beyond his capabilities. This leads investigators and those who have studied the case to wonder if there were other forces at work. Was Kenny drawn there by something or someone that defies logical explanation? The mystery of how he managed to get there and what caused his death continues to baffle investigators to this day. David Gonzalez, a frustrating search. 9-year-old David Gonzalez disappeared during a family camping trip in the San Bernardino National Forest. After asking his mother to get cookies from the car, David never returned. 40 minutes later, his family began searching, but the cookies remained untouched, and David was missing. Days later, his decomposed body was found just 1 mile from the campsite, in an area that had already been thoroughly searched. This raised troubling questions. Had David been moved, or was his body somehow overlooked? The autopsy revealed no trauma or clear cause of death, casting doubt on the official explanation that a mountain lion was responsible. David's parents were skeptical, and authorities' evasive behavior raised suspicions of something more sinister at play. Investigators refused to release records, adding to the mystery surrounding David's tragic disappearance. Thelma Pauline Melton, gone without a trace. Disappearances in national parks aren't limited to children, as evidenced by the baffling case of 58-year-old Thelma Pauline Melton. Polly had been a regular visitor to the Great Smoky Mountains, hiking the same trails for over 20 years. She was described by her friends as lively and friendly, though she had a few health issues that typically caused her to hike at a slower pace. Despite these health conditions, Polly was never one to stray far or take unnecessary risks. On the day she vanished, she was hiking with 2 close friends. Polly had been walking ahead, but the trail was familiar, and there was no cause for concern. What makes Polly's case so strange is the complete lack of clues. One moment she was ahead of her friends, and the next she was gone, without a single sound or struggle. Her friends immediately raised the alarm, leading to a thorough search of the surrounding area. Rangers, volunteers, and search dogs scoured the terrain, but not a single trace of Polly was ever found. There were no signs of a struggle, no discarded belongings, and no footprints leading away from the trail. Polly's case remains open to this day, and many theories have surfaced, from abduction to supernatural explanations, but nothing definitive has ever come to light. Her sudden disappearance in a place she knew so well continues to baffle investigators and haunt those who knew her. Dennis Martin, a case that stumped the FBI. One of the most famous disappearances in national parks is the 1969 case of 6-year-old Dennis Martin, who vanished during a family camping trip in the Great Smoky Mountains. While playing hide-and-seek with his brother and friends at Spence Field, Dennis never emerged from his hiding spot. His family searched frantically, but he was nowhere to be found. A massive search involving the FBI, National Guard, and Green Berets ensued, making it one of the largest search operations in the park's history. Despite the efforts, no trace of Dennis was discovered. A hiker later reported seeing a large figure carrying something on its shoulder near the area of the disappearance, but nothing came of the lead. In a strange twist, the lead FBI agent on the case committed suicide, and a Special Forces member hinted at something more unusual at play. Decades later, Dennis Martin's disappearance remains unsolved, fueling speculation and intrigue. And that brings us to the end of this unsettling exploration into the strange disappearances in America's national parks. If you enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into more mysterious, unsolved cases, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest content. And as always, stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.